Hi all, my name is Meghnesh Salian and I'm one of the founders at Three Wise Monkeys located at Khar. It's been operational since 2012, so almost 13 years. I've worked for multiple departments, starting from kitchen to F&B, and worked as at the front desk. My family was into hotel industry, so I thought that starting young would be a good idea. So me and my brother started a small pub back in 2012. We thought that that was the right age to start. Okay, even if things won't work out, we're good to go back to the industry again and work out, so that whatever, if it's not worked in the way that we wanted to, we can anyway get back to the industry again. So that was the whole idea of starting back in 2012, having a place of your own. See, first year of operations, the challenges first start, you just have an idea, no, कि कुछ जगह खोलना है, okay, but वो जगह खोलना कैसे है, पैसे कहाँ से आएंगे, okay, finance is one big factor, okay, and then when you find a place, you anticipate the expenses, but the expenses never gonna be what you've anticipated. It's like जब तुम कुछ करने निकलते हो तो फिर ये there's this saying that जितना शक्कर डालोगे उतना मीठा बनेगा. तो वो जब ये रेस्टोरेंट भी बनाते हो ना, it's like that. You start making one, okay, and then you think everything has to be very good. So वो expense बढ़ते जाते हैं, and there are expenses you don't really anticipate, like your licensing expenses, okay, you don't really consider these as expenses, the brokerage part, okay, ये सारे challenges है, okay, but then hospitality is one sector wherein it makes you very strong, because every moment you have a challenge and you have to get out of that challenge, okay, so the finding ways makes you very strong. Challenges come, but the bigger aspect is finding solutions for those challenges. We've always been very approachable, okay. We've not tried very new things, okay. We are still very approachable. We evolve as per the new generation, okay. So what makes us different is we do a lot of events, okay. We have football screenings, okay. We have karaoke nights, we have social dancing, we have afro nights, we have comedy. So we have everything. It's not only food and alcohol, but you name the event and Three Wise Monkeys does it, okay. So that makes us very different, okay, and that's why we are connected with the audience regardless of the age, okay. You have your Gen Zs and you have millennials, you have everyone coming in, because you catering for everyone, you cater to each sector. So that makes us different. Hospitality has been about good food, okay, and if there is alcohol, then there is good chakna, okay. So the gap was creating the good chakna, okay, the finger food, okay. Now you had to make sure that you're still serving the chakli with the Sichuan sauce, okay. You're serving the regular chana chaat, you're serving all these things, but then a polished version, so that you can connect with the younger crowd. So we created a menu which had the traditional chaknas, okay, but it had a better approach, better name, okay, like you call it bar bites and you club it with interesting stuff. Now you have your popcorn with truffle oil and parmesan cheese, and you have a new chakna, but then we filled this gap with interesting stuff, and that worked out. Signature dishes, what we've tried is, like I said, the food has been something which goes regularly, but we've just tried to work it a bit. So like if you come here, instead of the regular chicken chili, you can try our white chicken chili. So it's not a regular, it's spicy, but it is not black in color, it's white, so it has that cheesy effect. It's very different, okay. Also try our dal khichdi with chicken crispy, okay. The veg option is dal khichdi with paneer crispy. Once you're totally sloshed, okay, and you want something very heavy that you can that's very comfortable to eat, and then you can doze off to sleep after that heavy meal, that's paneer crispy with your dal khichdi. That goes really well. And alcohol, our signatures, we have done a lot of cocktails. Okay, we've evolved in the market what it needs. But what works well is your regular LITs. So we have a lot of variations for LITs because people want that. You drink one or two and you're sorted for the night. See, hospitality for me, primarily it comes from being hospitable to my staff first. Okay. I want a culture when my staff is happy. Okay. It's regardless of he knowing Hindi or he knowing English. The language is not a barrier here. Okay. It's the person. Okay. How good he is or how hospitable he is with the customer. We look at that. Okay. And we think that he's good enough regardless of him talking. My oldest staff has always been a Hindi speaker, okay, but then he is my best seller because he connects that well with my guests, okay. So, yeah, I mean, and then of course the vibe of the person, it should gel with the vibe of the place, very energetic, okay, very friendly, because I've always maintained and we've always created an atmosphere which is very friendly, okay. It's never a employee or an employee relationship. It's like a family relationship. So that's what we've looked for. Language is not a barrier, very approachable. Well, for the audience watching, running in a restaurant and visiting a restaurant, it's as good as buying a Alfonso mango and growing one. Okay, so you can buy a Alfonso mango, but if you manage to grow one, it takes a lot of task. But then if you have one, you can eat as much as you want. So it looks very fancy from outside, but there are a lot of challenges, especially in today's time. I wouldn't recommend, to get into it unless you don't have the knack or a knowledge or a background of it, because it gets really difficult. You can't really run it just because you have a passion for it. You have to run it when you know that you are doing it to earn money out of it. There are a lot of stories because 13 years to be in the same lane, you come across a lot of people. Okay, we have customers who've had their date nights, who've proposed at Three Wise Monkeys, now coming back to the same restaurant with their family and kids. Okay, so we have multiple of those. We have had multiple breakups, we have patch-ups, proposals, a lot of memories here. And yes, of course, because the place is so well connected with these memories, you tend to connect with your guest a lot. So it becomes like a family, okay. You don't get, earlier they used to call me and say, okay, ek table rakh lena, okay. But our regulars are like, they get calls, okay. If people need a table here, they call them directly, and we can't deny them because it's more like a place that they've created. Franchising, it all depends on how the market scenario is, okay. Of course, every hotelier or restaurateur wants to open multiple chains, but you also have to see the feasibility in the market. It depends on how the legalities are, okay, or how bright the prospect are. As a restaurateur, I feel small towns and 2-tier cities right now have more potential, because a place like Mumbai, it's saturated at this point of time, wherein there are multiple restaurants opening, but at the same time there are multiple shutting down also because the overheads are very high. But as a brand, yes, a restaurateur always has this habit of opening something new. It's like creating a movie. It's like a director who makes a movie. If that's successful, he makes one more, and he aspires of creating one more, regardless of whatever losses he makes. So yes, we already have a few other brands under our mother company. We have Powai called Corkies and Company. I've ventured into a veg business, a completely veg restaurant. The name is Guru's, that's in Andheri West. And yes, Three Wise Monkeys, we are looking at expansion. But let's see, it depends on the right place and the right target audience. It's a very homely pub. Okay, it's one place that you don't really have to think, uh, like how you feel like going at home. Okay, once you're done with your work and you have that happiness of going home, Three Wise Monkeys is that. Okay, you're done with your work, people come very happily because there's nothing that nobody's going to judge you. We've always accepted a guest as the way they are, because we have sports, we have live bands, we have good food, we have decent alcohol. It's a very approachable place. So I would like to thank the Indian Hospitality magazine under the campaign Atithi Devo Bhava for promoting hospitality. Okay, because I think that is one big sector in India, and India has always been very welcoming towards guests. Okay, and I think hospitality is one sector that generates a lot of revenue. Of course, it has a challenge, it has its own challenges, but the kind of revenue that's created, it's a very interesting sector. Aspiring hoteliers, I would suggest that, hospitality, it looks as a very glamorous sector, but having said that, it has its own challenges. But the satisfaction of opening a restaurant and when you see guests coming in, creating memories in your place, it's unmatchable. So you should definitely get into hospitality, but at the same time, assess all the other challenges, because once you achieve it, it's a brilliant sector to be in.